What do you think made Priest different to all the other kind of metal bands that kind of followed kind of around the same time? What do you think Priest had that maybe the others didn't, to make them so unique, kind of thing?
Well, yeah, I think that, I mean, depending on what period of time we're talking about.
Yeah.
But obviously we had exactly that. We had a pretty good songwriting team. I mean, we were certainly, we were fortunate to have Rob, you know, obviously with his ability, because vocalists like him, you know, there's not many around, is there? Obviously we've got the incredible Ripper Owens. Ralph Shapers, you know, another great, you know, with big range. You know, there's lots of other good singers around, but you know, certainly for Rob and Ripper, really, and they were seriously durable. You know, I mean, we never blew gigs because the vocalist got a bad throat. And these guys are going out 5 or 6 nights a week, and they were tough. You know, and I'm thinking, I've got to say, these guys, you know, even they were my heroes. Being able to go out there and do that, we used to feel for them, thinking we're kind of on 5 in a row now, you know. And I'm looking at Rob or Ripper putting the stage clothes on. I'm thinking, these guys are good.
Yeah, and is there a process, I mean, that you saw anything in common with them both, how they maybe preserve their voice in between shows? Do they not talk much, or?
I said the guys did look after themselves, you know, and I think that they knew that they had to, really. You know, so it's important to, you know, look after your voice, really. I mean, you start going to the bar with the lads and chugging it down. I mean, you can't do that without talking. Really. I mean, it's like, you know, the guys were very good and getting plenty of sleep. And
quite a lot of discipline, I guess.
Yeah.
Would you say they missed out maybe partly because I guess you could go out and have a drink after the show, and whereas they might have had to stay in? And is there like?
Oh, well,
or do you think it's
we were fortunate. We had a couple of guys that were in, you know, pretty solid relationships, so they didn't have the need to, you know, they weren't. There's times I was in solid relationships, but you know, it is what it is. You're out there, you're 1,000 miles away from home, and you have to. It's kind of difficult. It's difficult. It was difficult for me a lot of times to go to my hotel room and think, okay, I've got to get to sleep now. It's already like past midnight. You know, when I know there's other things going on in the hotel. You know, it's like trying to go to Las Vegas and like go to bed. It's 11 o'clock. No, but like, have you seen what's happening downstairs?
Did it have any impact on when you had to play a show the next day? Like, would you really be feeling, oh, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, it was murder at times, because obviously a lot of times you might have an hour's sleep before the bus left, or you know, or the transport to the airplane, you know. But you would catch sleep wherever you could, you know. If on a bench in a park or a airport or a taxi going to the airport, you would just, you know, get, you know, cat naps wherever you could. And if you could, by the time you got to the hotel at the next town or city, you got off the plane or whatever, or the bus, if you got into that bed for like 20 minutes before you had a show to go to the sound check, it was like heaven, you know. But lots of times you get to the gig, you do the sound check, pass out in the dressing room, you know. It was all about that. It was hard. It was hard. But that's the price you have to pay for staying up and partying.